I got this free Dolly, and the wheel is completely flat. The inner tube was actually ripped. I guess it was just so old that it ripped apart. So I'm about to show you how I'm going to remove this the wheel so that I can replace the inner tube. So what I'm going to do is just take this tool like this right here. They have tools made for this, but what I'm going to do is just use what I have. So just going to get that like that. So what you're going to do is, with the one pry tool that you have, just going to pry it up, and when you pry it up over here, you want to push the whole bottom up like that. So just pry this up, and then push up from the bottom, and as you can see, the whole tire will come up over it, and you just pull it up like that, and from there you should be able to, if you have a bad inner tube, you should be able to just reach down up in there and pull the bad inner tube out. My inner tube is all busted. It should have a big hole in it. So as you can see, my inner tube is actually inner tube I had is actually busted. See, the stem actually totally broke off. So yeah, getting rid of that. This tire's pretty old. We're just gonna try to keep this close to the hole, and we're just gonna stuff this back around here like this. Stuff this inside like this. And you can pivot the rim like I'm doing. Just try to get it all in there first, and then we'll figure out where to go from there. So stuff it all in the rim. Once you got it in the rim, then try to tuck it between where it goes, which is between the tire and the rim. So, and you'll need to pivot the tire and move it around like this to get it where you need it to go. You just got to be patient and have a strategy. So as you can see, I have my whole inner tube inside. See? Alright, now what I want to do is I want to locate my stem in here. Okay, I've actually got my stem located from the bottom. And then what I want to do is move the stem around. You can see the stem peeking through right there, and you can work from the bottom. What we're going to do is okay, like that there. So I'm gonna push the stem through like this, and then pivot it around, and like as you seen right there, it just pushes through. Then you can pull it all the way through, and it should stay. And you just make sure you tuck the inner tube behind the seat of the tire, and then you just go ahead by pushing that back down like that. And it'll even help with keeping the inner tube. You're gonna have to gotta manhandle it for it to work. Especially if you have an older tire like that there. Just get it on like that to as much as you can. And then once you can't do it anymore by hand, you're gonna get the same tool that you took it off with. First, try this. Try putting more pressure on it by standing up and pushing down on it. Then once you get to a point where you can't move it, all you gotta do is the same tool you put it on with. Just slow. You could use the tool also, but you just take your time. Take your time and just push down on it. And when you get stuck, use the tool. Just like that. You seen that I barely used the tool, just use the hand and patience. And you see that the inner tube is between there. Make sure you pull this out. And all you gotta do now is get your air source. Okay, so based on the tire, here it requires a maximum of 30 psi, and it says to only use a hand pump. So I'm going to, for once, follow the instructions and use a hand pump.
Can we keep her as a garage pet?
No, sure. So I got the air pump set to 30 psi. Not sure if you can see this, but on here, this gray part right there says a 30 psi. So what I'm gonna do is just pump it up to 30 psi. All right, so I filled this tire, and as you can see, it's tight to the touch, and it's approximately 30 psi. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hop over to the other side and fill up the other tire and make sure it's a matching 30 psi, and then I'm gonna weight test it to make sure it's still in good working condition. So I got both of the tires up to matching PSIs, and I got a light load on it now. As you can see, testing it, and it works fine. It rolls, it goes over stuff, it turns, it does all the wheelbarrow is supposed to do. As you can see, the repair is successful. That's pretty much all it takes.